If the United States says these strikes are defensive and Iran calls them a violation of the ceasefire, whose strategy is actually driving the escalation and who stands to gain politically?
First of all, we have to read the MOU of Islamabad. And number 5 of the MOU is quite clear that Iran is controlling the Strait of Hormuz. So based on these, it is clear that the US attacks are not defensive. They started the war, they killed Ayatollah Khamenei, Iran's leader, and they declared that over their media clearly. So when they attack us in continuing, they cannot say that these are defensive. These are completely offensive. After signing the MOU also, it can be clear, understood by the media and by the CENTCOM declaration that all the times, 2 or 3 times that we had some tension with the USA, that was clear that the USA started these attacks based on CENTCOM declaration letters.
So for ordinary people across the region, what is the biggest immediate risk in your opinion? Economic disruption, energy insecurity, or the possibility of a wider war?
So for sure, this war has various dimensions which can put pressure on both sides because because Iran's export and import has some problems in some cases. This is what can be understood, but also we have to pay attention that the USA and the rest of the world also are completely dependent on the Strait of Hormuz, as about 66% of the oil and gas of the world are going to be exported from this region. So for Iran, we have the security and economy problems, but we have to pay attention that for USA, we also can see that it has some economical pressure which can be concluded to security matters for them also.
All right. Has Washington effectively abandoned diplomacy? Would it be correct to say that? Or are these strikes meant to force Iran back into the negotiating table from a position of military pressure?
If the USA, it can be understood by 2 points. First of all, this is the behavior of the USA that always the same as JCPOA. They signed something, and after a while, they try to delete some parts and behave and do whatever they want. In the JCPOA, also, we can understand that the Atomic Agency declared that Iran does all of its responsibilities in 15 times. But after a while, that was Donald Trump, which preferred to leave this contract without paying attention to the international laws. So this time also, we can see that USA is doing this just to follow its own goals. And it can be understood that in some parts, maybe by this pressure, they can achieve all the points which is beneficial for them in the negotiation. But also on the other side, it can be understood that they want to make ready the situation for their next attack, which many Iranian elites believe it will be done from the south. So they do these attacks both-sided, but two-sided goals in negotiations and in the military part.
So talking about the MOU, as you just said that USA signs something and does something else, what role should the mediating powers, the mediating countries play in your opinion right now in these conditions? For example, Pakistan, Qatar or Turkey?
It's a great question, but we have to pay attention that the intermediators, such as Qatar and Pakistan, they did what is correct, and they were just between two countries to be able to talk. But there is a big problem here that this is not the matter of the mediators. The mediators did whatever they could, so we had the MOU. The matter is the behavior of USA. This is what is important that should be understood. The mediator can try to make the situation, to ease the situation, to help both sides to talk more. But I think even they do more, nothing can be done because the US follows its own way. Look at the MOU. We signed that, but what happened? So even again, if the Qatar and Islamabad tries to solve a problem, after a while, USA starts to make another problem.
All right, sir. Thank you for joining us.